Look in the mirror. How do you respond to this moment in your life? How do you respond to this moment in your life? Now, I can give you a motivational speech. I can tell you to be positive. I can tell you to ignore the hate. I can tell you to ignore the criticism. I can tell you to ignore the feelings of disappointment or the feelings of joy, the feelings of happiness, the feelings of sadness. I can tell you to ignore your feelings. I can tell you to rely on just your logic, right? But what can you do about this moment in your life? If it's going great, can it get better? If it's going bad, can it get worse? And if it's going bad, can you make it good, right? And that's the question. Can you make it good? And the answer is yes, of course. But do you have the right mind, the right mindset, are you in the right state of mind to take those actions, right? And, in life is about principles, right? Life is about principles, right? And everything, right? And if you are a person that obsesses over getting rich, you will eventually get rich. Like if you spend 8 hours, 9 hours doing an activity, right? If you spend 8 hours, 9 hours every single day doing an activity or doing something that will provide value, right, to someone else, and you believe this value that you will provide will make you rich, and you obsess over creating that value, and you create that value, that will make you rich, right? If you obsess over getting women or so many women, right, and you put your energy into that, you pay someone to, I don't know, these pickup artists on YouTube or TikTok, right, or on these pickup artists on Instagram, or whatever, these authors on Instagram, or these authors on YouTube. Now it's the same for women. Like I was surprised, even like I've seen these authors for women, they're giving women advice on men and relationships and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay. This thing, it works both ways, actually, right? And if you invest your money in that, if you invest your time in that, if you consistently invest your time into that, eventually you will get women, eventually you will get men. That is just the result. Anything that is time consuming, that is energy consuming, that is obsession, and you keep going, you keep putting your energy in, you keep doing that, you will eventually get there, right? If you are obsessed with making South Africa, for example, if you want to make South Africa an industrialized state, right? Which the reality is right now, the industries that are needed for it to be industrialized again, they don't exist in this present day. The factories just keep closing down. The factories keep closing down. Like every month you hear, oh, another factory is closed down. And then how are you supposed to build the economy that is needed for where we are at as a country? For where we are at as a country, fintech is cool. Look, fintech is cool, and AI and all of this, look, that is needed. I'm not saying that is not needed. But industrialization needs to be prioritized because of our context. Because of our context as the nation of South Africa, there needs to be more industrialization. You can't just allow factories to keep closing down. Right? And if you as a person, you obsessed like, yo, I want to make this part of the country I want to make the Eastern Cape, right? I am going to focus on making the Eastern Cape the most industrialized part of the country. I want 55 factories there. I want 60 car manufacturing over there. I want, or Northern Cape, right? Maybe the Northern Cape might be the one, right? If you focus on that, eventually it will happen. Now it might take 10 years for that to happen where you get 55 factories. It might take 15 years. But if the focus is there, if the intent is there, if the obsession is there, it will happen. If you want to have $100 million company, right, might take 15 years to get there. It might take 5 years to get there. Depends on how you do it. But if the obsession is there, if you're putting in the work, if you're putting 12 hours in a day of work in for 6 days, eventually you will get there. And those are just the principle. That is just one example of a principle of life. That is a principle of life, right? That is how God has set it up to be. God has set it up to be that you focus, you master one thing, and once you master one thing, your miracle will arrive. Boom, the miracle has happened. The success has happened, right? You focus on it, that miracle will happen. And that's just how we go. That is just a principle of life. And there are many different principles in life, but that is just one of the main ones. And today is another opportunity to be as productive as possible. Why is it another opportunity to be as productive as possible? Because there's another 24 hours. Now you can choose, okay, I'll get 6 hours of sleep and the rest I'll be productive. That is your prerogative, that is your choice. And how today goes is completely up to you. It's completely up to you how you see it, completely up to you how you want to go about it. It's up to you, right? Because whether you like it or not, productivity builds your character. Productivity does something inside here. Productivity does something inside here. Productivity does something inside here. Productivity consistently will change you as a person when you focus on doing what you need to do, right? When you complete the daily tasks towards a big goal, you build confidence within yourself. You build a confidence within yourself. You build the drive within yourself. You increase the drive within yourself. You push yourself to another level. And that is needed. A habit is created in 21 days. A lifestyle is created in 90 days. When you've done the same routine for 90 days, that is when your transformation begins. Your transformation, the beginning of your transformation begins after the 90th day of you doing the same routine, the same productivity hacks, the same productivity formula. On the 90th day, that is when you transform. That is when it begins to take shape. That is when you begin to see things change within you and within your work. And that is why it's vital to keep going. It's vital to keep improving. It's vital to keep pushing. You need to do it despite the way you feel. That is so important. You need to do it despite the way you feel. If you keep putting it off, you are delaying yourself. You delay yourself when you keep putting these things off. Don't delay yourself, please. Please. Alright. And ultimately, other people can help you here and there, right? Other people can help you here and there. Destiny helpers. Destiny helpers will always be there. They'll be here and there. But ultimately, you are the only person that can truly change your life. You are the only person that can truly change your situation. Now, I leave you with this. I leave you with Hebrews 11 verse 4. I leave you with Hebrews 11 verse 4 because you need to understand that the voice of Abel still cries out. By faith, the voice of Abel is still crying out. In the realms, in another realm, the voice of Abel still cries out. And the works of Abel are still here with us. Because everything that Abel did it by faith. Abel made sacrifices to God by faith. Right? And his impact still remains today. So when you go out there and when you work by faith. You work by faith that one day this will turn around. One day this will turn in my favor. One day this will be the day that I win. Have faith in the work that you do. Be diligent in the work that you do. And by faith, God will reward you. I thank you very much.